So I just had my friends over like literally not even 30 minutes ago, and my friend, before he left, decided he needed to fucking fart in my room, and it smells so bad in here, and it has for the last 30 minutes. But I need to make this commentary, so you know what? I'm just gonna power through the shit. Anyway, guys, my name is Christian and welcome to another video. Two things before I get started. Number one, please do hit that like button. Let's go for 150 likes. When I see that you guys are liking the videos, it's super great motivation for me and it means just so much to me. Also, leave a comment in the comment section below. At the end of the video, I always have a special comment thing that I do, and maybe we'll make that a regular thing. Also, the last thing before I get started is several videos ago, I said my microphone was going out and it wasn't working anymore, and a few of you were asking if you could help me out with buying a new one, and because of that I set up an I'm raising thing again, and so that's going to be in the description of all my videos and on my channel. So if you want to donate to me and help me get a new microphone, that's always an option. I'm not forcing it to anyone, that's totally up to you. So anyway, today's story is definitely a crazy one, so I'm not really going to go into how me and this girl met or like how long we were dating or anything, because it's really kind of beside the point. But how this happened was on Fridays, me and this girl did not have school, right? As you guys know, our district does not have school on Fridays. And so every single Friday we would hang out. It would usually be at her house because that's when her parents weren't home, because both of her parents had to work on Friday. So what I ended up doing on this particular Friday was I took my mom's car because she only lived like literally 5 minutes away. So I just took my mom's car, which I only had my permit at the time, and I just drove over there. I was kind of paranoid about her parents and stuff and like what would happen, and you know, we'll call this girl Tammy, and like Tammy was telling me not to worry about it and like it's not even a big deal, but I was super paranoid. And so luckily I parked my car about a couple houses down, right, just on the road, you know, just in case, which ended up being like the best thing ever. Anyway, so I got in there, and me and Tammy, you know, we started hanging out and stuff. She actually cooked me lunch, which was totally dope, and I think we had like grilled cheese or something. And anyway, after eating and stuff, we both kind of went down to her room where she had a TV, and you know, we turned on Netflix. Not that we were gonna watch it or anything, but we turned it on, you know, kind of just started talking and stuff, and one thing led to the next, and one thing led to the next, and you know, her shirt was off, you know, my shirt was off, which I don't know, I never liked her taking my shirt off, but this girl just had a thing for it, so you know, it was whatever. But anyway, it got to the point where, you know, she was like completely naked, and I'm not gonna go into it, like we weren't having sex or anything, but I really don't feel like explaining it because it's about to get like super graphic, and I just like, no, not right now. But she was completely naked, and I was almost completely naked. I think I was like just in my underwear. All right, I'll just be honest, I was eating her out and everything. You know, she liked it, and it was like, I don't know, it was just really good. So anyway, I want to say 10 minutes later, she's like, Christian, stop. And I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, I just heard someone pull into the garage. And I'm like, really? You know, because I was going ham on this girl's gina, right? Like, I was eating her roast beef flaps, and she was telling me that she could always tell when one of her parents were home, because apparently the garage was like to the side of her room, if that makes sense. Like, she was in the basement, her room was in the basement, and the garage was like offset, you know, this obviously on the first floor. And so I was like, oh, seriously? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? And she's like, I don't know, just like go under the bed for a second and I'll just talk to him. And I was like, okay. And then we heard him coming down the stairs. So I rush under the bed, right? I grab my clothes. I grab her clothes. I take them under the bed. She goes under the covers, right? And starts to act like she's sleeping. Well, her dad comes down, opens up the door, and he's like, hey, Tammy, what's up? Why are you in bed? And she didn't respond, right? And so he goes up to her, and he kind of like, you know, pats her on the shoulder a little bit. He's like, and she kind of like, I don't know, she acted like she was awake or waking up or whatever, which I don't know how believable it was because I obviously couldn't see. And so she lifts up her head, and she was like, what's going on? And he's like, why are you in bed? And she's just like, oh, I don't know, I just don't feel very good. And he's like, oh, okay, what's wrong? And she's like, I don't know, I think I'm coming down with the flu or something. And he's like, oh, okay, well then I'll let you sleep. And she was like, okay, love you, daddy. And so he went upstairs, right? And the coast was clear for now. And so I was like, oh, Tammy, okay, so how the fuck do I get out of here, right? Because if her dad found out that I was home alone with her, like, oh, I don't know what would have happened, but she had a really strict dad, and like it just wouldn't have gone down really well at all. So I knew that there was like a way to get to the backyard from the back of her house, right? And from there, I could have just kind of gone around on the road, but I needed her to kind of like distract her dad. So she gets her clothes on, right? And she goes upstairs and starts talking to her dad because, you know, we had planned for her to talk to her dad. And while she was talking to her dad, I was just kind of going to slip out the back and everything. And so I went out the back and I went around, got to my mom's car, and I didn't have my keys. And I was like, oh my God, like this could not have gotten worse. So I went back around, right? I slipped back into so there was like a door to the downstairs in the backyard because the front yard, I guess, was like higher than the backyard, if that makes sense. And so, and you know, on the basement, it led right down to the backyard. I'm sure you've seen a house like that. So anyway, I slipped back into her room, right? She's coming down the stairs again and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I forgot my keys. And she's like, oh shit. Okay, I'll go talk to him again. So she went back up the stairs. I slipped out. I finally got around, and I was just so nervous going in front of the house. Like, I had my hoodie with me, so I put my hood on and, like, kind of looked down and everything, which I probably looked totally sketchy. Like, I was gonna, like, fucking rob a house or something. But I ended up getting back to my mom's car. I drove the long way around and got back home, and we got away with it. Nothing happened, and yeah, it was just awesome. And it's kind of funny, because I've told my friends about that story, and they don't even think it's like entertaining or anything, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. So yeah. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy that video, leave a like. If you're still watching to this point, write in the comment section below what you would do to me if we were alone. I'm really excited to see these comments. Anyway guys, that's it for today. I love you so much, and I will see you tomorrow.